Out here, the road doesn't care about your badge. It doesn't care about your horsepower numbers on paper. It cares about balance, grip, braking, and whether your car was built for this. The name isn't decoration. It's a legacy. It's racing history shaped into sheet metal. It's a company proving something to the world. When Chevrolet revived the ZL1 in 2012, they set out to build the most capable Camaro ever. When doing that, the corporate intent was clear. Build a production Camaro that could out-accelerate, out-corner, and out-brake the era's best muscle. So they went supercharged, 6.2-liter LSA, a chassis outfitted with magnetic ride, performance traction, and calibrated from the ZR1. Serious thermal management, oil, trans, diff coolers. Aerodynamically, the ZL1 was sculpted. Lower, leaner, stiffer. Every body panel sculpted for airflow. Every corner engineered for control. That carbon fiber hood extractor isn't just for looks. At high speed, it pulls heat out of the engine bay and reduces lift. Outboard cooling ducts feed the brakes. Splitters and spoilers create real downforce. This car wasn't styled for aggression. It was engineered for it. The ZL1 is fitted with the LT4, 650 horsepower, 650 foot-pounds of torque, the supercharged legend, the most powerful Camaro ever built. Add long tube headers, JLT, big mouth intake. You got also Griptec pulley and gate screen belt. This just adds the power. This isn't an inflated spec sheet. It's torque that shoves you forward and keeps pulling through the next corner. The 10-speed with the paddle shift keeps the engine exactly where it needs to be. Just instant response when you roll into the throttle. On roads like this, that matters. 285/15 width Pilot Sports up front, massive 315s out back. 6-piston Brimbos in the front, 4-piston in the rear, both air-cooled. This isn't about surviving one stop. It's about surviving it over and over and over again. Flat bottom steering wheel, heads-up display, configurable gauges, and track mode that sharpens the throttle and stiffens the suspension. Touring for your daily commute. This isn't luxury pretending to be sporty. This is a driver's car that is also capable. Some cars are remembered for how they look. Others for how they sound. But the rare ones, the unforgettable ones, are remembered for how they make you feel when the road opens up. A machine built to turn daily driving into track ready. The 6th Gen Camaro ZL1. The horizon was never the limit. It was the destination. These things are just amazing. Everything that you get with them, all the way up to 24. Obviously, every year you get something a little bit better, just maybe a little bit better camera, you know, a couple things like that. But overall, the 17 ZL1 just really did such a great job, and that's why they carried through until 24, until the ending of, you know, with the Panther. And we've sold a few of those as well. So this is one that you don't have to spend that type of money, but you're still getting that same performance. And this has just got some really good upgrades. The 10-speed, obviously it's not a dual clutch, but it sounds like it. And they are just an amazing vehicle. You get full control. This one's got the roof. This has got carbon fiber, really good shape, clean Carfax, clean title, and you got navigation. You can take the track with AC and cooled seats. So I mean, that's the best thing about these. You got, you know, your gauge cluster that you can control and switch everything around with that. You can have it pretty much set up for how you want it. and then you have your different modes. So you have the different modes that will go through snow and ice. You're not really going to use, I don't think I've ever used it, but we'll go through. So you got touring, sport, and track. And with this, with the exhaust system, you aren't going to have any changes, but you literally turn traction off and let it burn. And obviously we're not going to rip all the way through because we don't have the green light, but these move. They just move out. You can feel them. It's so much different than just an SS. You get so much more. And yeah, you can build it, but you can't quite build it like a ZL1. The ZL1 is just engineered and designed to be a fast, daily driven car. That's the greatest thing about these. Now, we have over 300 photos. We have online financing, nationwide transport, all classiccaraddict.com. Now, let's go take a look at the outside. This Hyper Blue is just beautiful. Hyper Blue 2017 Camaro ZL1. This thing is just beautiful all the way around. I love the blue. The blue shows so well. I have a red one, and this blue is definitely looking good. Low production. It's not the lowest production of all the ZL1 colors, but it's very low production. 17, there was just a hair over 3,000 of these made. Now we'll just go through some of the little defects that it has, just so that you do know. So obviously we got a few little rock chips. They're kind of hard to see because there's not like a lot of them, but you know, just right there. Obviously this is Arizona. It does not have PPF, so that is why it does have a few of those rock chips, but very well taken care of all the way around. And we'll go through, we'll start with the rims too here. So obviously rims are all in really good shape. I don't see any type of curb rash going on. They do have a little bit of brake dust, but other than that, all good to go. Brembo, 6-piston up front, 285, 30, 20 on the tires, and those are from, I want to make sure I get the DOT right with these. Yep, 22, so these are late 22, so these are in really good shape. Hardly any miles on them. There's good tread left on those. Again, we might have just a few little small rock chips. Most of that's just kind of dust around there. Yet one little one right there. I tried to go through. There is just a little bit of, it's not like a ding, but there is just a little bit of a dent. PPR, paintless dent, would be able to get that out. But this one is really good shape. Other than that, there's really not a lot of defects. Now here in the rear, again, no curb rash going on with the ZL1 rim. Might be just a little bit right there, maybe then putting a tire on. But of course, in the back, we got the 315, 30, 20, and these are from 24. So these are pretty much brand new on there. Good tread depth left. Those are sticky, so they do hold really well, but they don't have a lot of miles on them per Michelin, just because they're good for grip. All the way through in the back, all in really good shape. Really no dings, dents. It hasn't been rear-ended. Corsica exhaust all the way. Sounds really good. I'll let you hear that here in a little bit when we get into the engine. But no other kind of defects. Body's really nice and straight, other than that one little on the driver's side door. And again, we might have a few little small rock chips in through here. Nothing crazy, but there are just maybe just a few ones. But again, you know, it's got 45,000 miles on it, so it does have just a little bit of miles on it. Get in here, again, maybe the only little bit of rim issue is right there, probably from getting the tire on and off. And again, matching in the rear, 315, 30, 20, and these are from 24 as well. Right there. This does have carbon, this has got the splash on the side. And going through here, no curb rash on those wheels. Again, 6-piston in the front, ZL1, and then you have your 4 in the rear, part of the ZL1 package. Front splitters, all of your duct works, and then of course, this came from the 5th gen, where it has your open bow tie there in the front. And this is all to allow air and to keep it really cool. If you've had a ZL1 before, you know that these actually run really really pretty cool. The LT4, especially in the Camaro. Now in the Corvette, it seems that they run a little bit, a little bit hotter. The ZL1s, they just did really good engineering for keeping it cool. Of course, you have all the airflow that's going through, also working with keeping the brakes cool. These are just set up for the track. Now we do have a couple of the engine upgrades, nothing crazy. Griptec pulley, gate screen belt, JLT big mouth on the intake, and then we do have headers all the way through. It sounds really good. Also does have a tune. This is running on E85, so you do have your E85 sensor for flex as well. So this does take regular and E85, but the tune is on E85, so you don't want to go any type of crazy on just your regular unleaded. You want to make sure that the green light is on to give it everything. But LT4, just a great engine. These have just handled so well. You can put so much more power to them, and the only way to get more and more power is going into like an LME 416 block, but you don't have to. These are so track capable. And just to let you guys kind of hear it with the engine up, yeah, it just sounds good. They're amazing, they're powerful. 650 horsepower, 650 torque, and that is going through when you actually have it. Now, when you add a little bit of E85, long tube headers, intake, let it breathe, that is what really gives you that horsepower and that torque past that band. And the Corsica exhaust, it sounds so good. Now, I'm gonna shut this off just because I know this will be a little bit louder, but we'll go through all, and basically this is just a factory ZL1 with a couple upgrades. They didn't get crazy into the engine, so you don't have to worry about any of those mods. Just a little bit to keep things a little bit cooler. E85 is known to keep things cooler, give you a little bit more horsepower, less fuel economy. Only a little bit of wear right here on the driver's seat. Other than that, these seats are in really good shape. Suede's in good shape. Steering wheel, obviously you got the 50th anniversary, and then you also have the automatic 10-speed. It's amazing. This one also does have the roof, so that's a great option. Bose all the way through. Of course, all your auto windows. You have all of your memory seats, all the good stuff with that. You also do have your sensor there for your E85. Heads-up display. These things are just loaded up. All the ZL1s are loaded up. You can add in like battery chargers, you know, all-weather mats, a couple things like that. But other than that, there's really not a lot more to add on to the ZL1 unless you go with the 1LE. If you want that, I like to say it's not the best ride, but if you really want to track them, the 1LE is the way to go. But I like the ride. And look at that. You've still got it in there, so that's a good thing. These are mostly gone, and those are gone. This has got all that in there. I like that. Got a little floor mat there in the back. And of course, really nice system. Sounds really good. If you haven't heard the system in the ZL1, that just factory-wise, they did a great job with that. Tinted windows all the way around. Of course, all the windows work. Everything works like it's supposed to. Dual power seats, all the suede. This does have your upgraded carbon fiber package for your trim. That includes all driver and passenger side, and then on the dash around your infotainment system, all of that good stuff. This thing, you'll definitely want this. Now, let's show you what they did on the undercarriage so you can see it all the way through. All right, let's get under this. So let's start here at the front, and then no real big damage. You do have a little bit of scraping going on here, but nothing that's ripped anything out, so you're all good with that. And then what's awesome about the ZL1 is right there. So you have your ducted outlets to keep your brakes cool on both sides. You also do have your radiator for right there. That also is cooling and sending air through and back to the brakes. So not only do you have a little bit of the heat exchange, but you also do have the ducted air as well. And then oil cooler, all the good stuff. LT4, you have long tube headers, then you have a full Corsica exhaust. And you can see there's no damage back here, all just in really, really good shape. And then here on the rear brakes as well, you also just have everything set up the right way. They did an amazing job with setting this up on a track focused base with these. So this thing just runs out really well. Rear diff has also been serviced, you can see there, and then Corsica exhaust, so you do not have your cutouts. It is just straight exhaust, and that's why it sounds so good with this one. Thanks for watching. ClassicCarAddict.com.